Your show starts in 10 minutes. You're all dressed up, the set is ready, the audience is filling the seats, but your voice still needs a warm-up. What do? Let me tell you what I do in order to get my voice fully ready for the show in under 6 minutes. I'm Oleg Loza, and this is Singing for Life. First of all, we need to understand what a warm-up is. Back in the day, when I was just starting out as an opera singer, I was working at the Vienna Chamber Opera, and my colleagues hated me. Simply because it would take me ages to prepare for the show. I would sing again and again, exercise after exercise, some parts of the opera, some random arias, everything, in order to find the sound that I thought I needed for to feel confident on stage. That wasn't a warm-up. That was my personal insecurity and the lack of solid technique. The real warm-up is about getting the blood supply to the ligaments and the muscles that we use for singing and the stretching of those muscles and ligaments. When we actually warm up, we need to focus on the key elements of our singing. For me, those elements are the basic vowel exercise, just to get things going, just to let my body understand that I'm about to sing. The next one is a breathing exercise to make all of my breathing muscles that support the sound work appropriately. Yeah, 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 yeah. The next one is a diction or articulation exercise, because I'm Russian. Russians do not pronounce things very well. The language cheats pretty deeply, so when we talk, it all sounds blah, 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 and that affects our singing as well. So because everything is lazy in my mouth, I have to kind of make the articulation work and to engage it, overly engage it for it just to be normal. And if I sing in English, it could be something like everybody, 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 keeping this bright, engaged sound with a lot of enunciation, articulation. The next one is a transition exercise. When we sing opera or music theater, we've got male voices have 2 registers, female voices have 3 registers, and they have those little seams that we need to cover when we warm up our voice. So for me, it would be something like Signore, Signore, Signore. And that's what I use to make those transitions smooth and controlled, because otherwise my voice sounds all over the place if I don't do that particular exercise. So far, we're under 5 minutes. And in most cases, even that is enough. But if I know that my next piece, the stuff that I sing, either in an opera or the whole repertoire, the part of my repertoire sits pretty low, then I take an extra step and I sing an exercise to develop my lower range and make sure that I don't push any of the lower notes. So that's all I do in the rehearsal room before I go on stage. The next step for me, if I have any control over the program of the show, is to craft it in a way that I start with lower, easier pieces and gradually proceed to more difficult, more demanding ones, the ones that sit higher and require better control of the higher register. And that way, even if I skip an exercise or 2 beforehand, the program itself, the show itself, will warm up my voice naturally. But even that is not enough. There's one more secret ingredient that I find very important. And that is, if I don't sing every day, there's any break between the shows that I have, what I do is just the day before the show, I go into the rehearsal room and I sing for about 30-35 minutes. Nothing too demanding. It's usually something that requires about 80 to 75% of my strength. And it feels the same as if you go to a gym and you start doing some exercises, and very soon you feel that you're pumped. The chest muscles are all beefed up, the shoulders look bigger, the detail is much, much better. So that's what I do in terms of singing. I pump up my voice, you can call it that. So there's a little bodybuilder standing there ready to pose the next day. If I do that, then on the day of the show, my voice is almost ready to go. I don't need any extra time. I only need those few exercises and just a little nurture to the voice. One more positive side effect of cutting down the time, warm-up time before the show, is that we reduce the pressure that we put on our voices. Because imagine if you sing for half an hour, 40 minutes before the show, then you sing 2.5, 3-hour opera. It's quite a stress for the voice, and it's always better to minimize that stress. Keep the voice fresh and sing well for the rest of our lives.